right, let me go turn the autofocus off, because like always, I forget to do it before I come on here. Hi, Mindy. Hi, Mary Hill. Hi, Giovanna. Woo, it's hot. It's 81 up here, 82 down near our house. So it's hot. And that's just the beginning, because I'm sure it's going to get hotter. Let's do... That's going to give me shadows. Oh, well. We'll go with it. We'll see how it does. Hi, Mary. You got back from your shopping. I stopped at Hobby Lobby. When I took Scott down, I made him go to the urgent care thing at the hospital. It's like urgent care, but it's just in the wing of the hospital. And he has an ear infection, and I already knew that. I told him, I said, you either have an ear infection or a sinus infection. I said, I'm going to drop you off here, and I'm going to run to Hobby Lobby, and I'm betting you'll probably be done before I can even finish at Hobby Lobby, but that was the plan. So, yeah, I stopped there. Oh, okay. You stayed home because they were calling for bad weather. And then it hasn't happened yet. Doesn't that tick you off when they claim that? Sometimes I think they just give us their best guess. Hi, Holly. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Mary. Hi, Carol. I was just going to quickly show, I couldn't keep my hands off this thing last night. So I took, and I've added beads and charms to my little do-si-do book. And then I was sitting and looking at it, and I didn't like the way the edges of the pages looked. So I took a red Sharpie, and I held my pages really, really tight together like this. And I took my Sharpie and colored all the edges. And then I still didn't like it. So then I took this gold deco marker and went over it again. So now it's got kind of a glisten to the pages to kind of match the red roses on the outside. The only thing I need to do on this one is some type of closure, and I think I'm going to do a belly band. But I have all these little charms in my stash that I decided, might as well use some of those. And the beads were a thrifting find. Hi, Violet. I'll share what I got at Hobby Lobby real quick, and that'll give people enough time to get in here. You need either one great big piece, or I'm using 2 pieces of kind of semi-ugly cardstock from my stash. So 2 pieces of 12 by 12 paper, and we're not going to do anything on the colored side. We'll flip them over, and that's where we'll do our dirty dozen. That way, the inside of our envelopes that we'll make in a little bit will be decorated. But let me show you, I picked up some things. All of the paper was on sale, so I picked up some of the specialty paper, and they've moved it. It used to be on a different aisle. Now it's right in the middle of the other, so it took me forever to find it. But this is a gold. You can see how it's shining, but it's music paper. And that one's the gold roses. It really flashes back. And then I really like this one that's kind of looks like paint brushes have gone aside. And I got this because I like to cut out sentiments from the gold. Like hello and just a note, that type of stuff. And I picked up a new ink pad so I could do the tissue paper stamping. And I used this. I hope that's okay. It says acid-free, permanent, and waterproof. So I'm hoping that it will be all right for the tissue paper swap. I've done it. So, and it's in the envelope to go. And then I picked these up. It's the Tim Holtz Botanicals. I used my coupon either on this or the ink because they were both $5.99 and everything else I got was on sale. And I didn't even realize it. I did not think these were on sale. They weren't marked. They were just back in the party goods for like birthday parties. And when she rang it rang up for 19 cents. So it rang up 10% of its value. But it's the cutest confetti. It's got hedgehogs. And look at this, the little fox. They're a little bent where they got shoved in the package. But the little foxes. Look at the little owl and the hedgehog. And there's a little squirrel. Look at the squirrel. So these are perfect for artist trading cards. And I couldn't beat that price, could I? 19 cents. I might run and get the rest of what's on the peg if it's still there. Might go tomorrow. And then I got, Mary mentioned that the Canson was on sale. So I picked up the watercolor and another mixed media. This is the size I like to do when I do like a large piece. This is the size I like because I can get several cards and several artist trading cards out of a sheet of this. But this would be way too stiff to make an envelope out of. So that's it. That's all I got today at the Hobby Lobby. So I signed up. I don't know if you guys saw where I shared in the group Craft Shack. That's Heather. She is doing a tour around the South, and she's coming to Greer, South Carolina, which is not far from me, on May 1st. And I don't know, where the meetup will be or anything, but she and her husband are traveling by camper around the South. And I signed up to go to the meet and greet on May 1st. So I might be late coming on that night because it is a Wednesday. But I thought how fun it would be to get together with some other YouTubers. So if you are in South Carolina, in the upstate or anywhere close to Greer, South Carolina, or are willing to drive there, check out Heather's channel. She's Craft Shack. It's a KRAAFT and then Shack. She's got a video up. And I'd love to meet anybody that wanted to meet up. But you just have to let her know, you have to sign up for a space because she needs to know how many people are going to be there for the large enough place. Does that make sense? Oh, goodness, everybody's coming in. Hi, Holly. Hi, Beth. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Gloria. Hi, T. Who else did I miss? Hi, Mary Hill. Hi, Christine G. I'm scrolling back up to see who all I missed. Hi, Deborah Adams. And Violet. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Joyce. I keep thinking I've caught up. Well, there's Carol, so I think that's where I need to be. So I'll come back down to the bottom. Hi, Barb. Filion. Hi, Cherry. Was it Cherry B? There's Scrap and Lynn. Hello? Gloria, I don't know. I don't know because she's going to be traveling in a camper, and I'm not sure, what her arrangements are or anything. She's got to find some place to, depending on how many people sign up to meet her, and we could hang out. She said just we'd hang out, take pictures together, and that kind of stuff. But she's going to be at Craft Shack, and that's Heather. She's going to be in Greer, South Carolina on May 1st. And the meet and greet is from 12 to 2. So I'll have to get up and get out of here so I can drive because I think it's about an hour from where I am here in Greenville. Mary says she's saying hi to you all because once her hands get painty, she can't chat. Scott was noting how painty my mouse is, and it's getting all kinds of splatters and everything. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Sharon Lombard. We'll see, Gloria. I don't know. I will ask Heather about that. I'm sure she said photographs were welcome, so I'm sure video will probably be welcome, but I will ask before I do. So, are you guys ready to do a dirty dozen? And then we're going to turn our dirty dozens into envelopes. I'm going to show you how. Today, we're only going to do a basic envelope. Next week, we'll do a dimensional envelope. That way, we don't have to do 4 pieces of paper. Because what I want to do is I want to show you how to make one with the Martha Stewart scoreboard. And I want you to be able to make it if you do not have a scoreboard. Anyway. Oh my goodness, talk chat. That would be scary. Hi, Linda. So get you a great big piece of paper. You're going to need, let me verify what I'm saying. Because we're going to make an A2 envelope that'll fit a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. And you need an 8 1/2 by 8 1/2 inch square. So if you have just a square of paper that's 10 inches by 10 inches, that would give you a little bit of extra painty paper you could just throw in your stash later. But to start making the card for an A2 is an 8 1/2 inch square. But what I'm doing is I pulled out a couple fun or ugly, whatever you decide this is, paper, and I'm going to flip it over so that when we're done, our dirty dozen will be on the outside of the envelope, and this will be on the inside of the envelope. Now, we might get stuff on the backs, so don't worry about that. And I'm going to kind of treat it like it's one great big piece of paper. So this is 24 by 12. Holly says she wouldn't get a word in edgewise. Hi, Janet. Oh, Janet's here. Let me open this real quick. This came yesterday from Janet. And so here's another artist trading card for my binder. Oh, I'm going to have to write Janet's name on the back. Naughty girl. You didn't sign it. I'm just going to put Janet VB on the back of it. And she also sent me some die cuts or stamped out images here. Or punched now. Not stamped, punched. Aren't those pretty? Some butterflies. And then some strips. So I will definitely use all the little bits. Thank you very much. So I'm going to put this in here. And Janet, I have an envelope here for you. I just haven't mailed it yet. I've been sticking stuff in it. So you got several artist trading cards in there already. So I'll stick this in here. There we go. And this is my book for this year of all the cards I'm trading so far. The lady at Hobby Lobby that checked me out, she was asking me, what on earth do you do with an artist trading card? I said, you trade them? All right. Hey, Cheryl. So I guess we need some prompts to pull from. So let me grab a $100,000 bill from over here. I keep meaning to go to Michael's and get a frame for that picture Hannah made for me when the frames are on sale. Okay, guys, what we're going to do is I'm just going to write down and then alternates. All right, I need 4 alternates that people can do if they don't like what we come up as we go along. And I'm going to get you guys to pick all of the prompts tonight. So the first one to give me a prompt will be the next prompt. So when everybody says ready, ready, you'll start hollering prompts at me. So Holly is given splatters as an alternate. Wild card, Kathy says. That's a good one to have as an alternate because then you can do whatever. Gold and marker. Okay, that's our alternates. Okay. Now, the next prompt will be the first one we do that I see here. Circles. All right, so everybody add circles to your paper any way you want. You can draw them, you can stencil them, you can use paint, whatever you want, but everybody add circles. And no more prompts until we're done with this one. And everybody has said, at least a couple have said ready. I'm going to use this great big fat black marker here. Oh, you know what? The marker is going to bleed through, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go with it. And I'm just going to draw circles. I'm going to do some small circles too. And since this is the first prompt, I'm not real concerned about what this looks like because this is going to be buried under some more. We just got to keep in mind with the prompts that you do not want to do anything with a lot of dimension because you don't want it to get stuck in the mail systems machines because those things will tear your envelopes up. I don't know if that light helps or not. I think I'm going to lose it. So you guys just let us know when you're ready. And when somebody says ready, somebody else call out the next prompt. And that way we can work steady so we can have our focus be mostly on making the envelopes tonight and not spend, a whole bunch of time on this, because I want to show you guys how to do the prompts enough. Okay, so I had one ready, and the next prompt is use blue from Marlene. So you can use blue any way you want. I have blue on the table because I didn't put up from yesterday. I have 4 alternates. They are splatters, wild card, gold, and marker. And I think I'm just going to do a little blue. With my finger. Thank you, Janet. I'm having trouble with the lighting because the sun is setting to my left, and it is just seems to be washing everything out tonight. It's hard to do the little circles with your finger. Getting into my art. I noticed that Heather on Craft Shack, she uses her finger a lot in her paintings. She does some really neat art. All right, I need to push these back together so I can do that one in the middle that I did. All right. Not precise enough for you? And see, I'm the opposite, Holly. I think I can get a little bit better control sometimes with just my finger than I can a paintbrush. Scott's been sick for over a week, so I'm so glad he finally broke down and said, yeah, I need to go to the doctor. I do have paintbrushes here if I need to break down and grab one. I want to use up this blue paint. I put out too much, I think. This one wasn't very blue, so. My sister was told today, the sister that's just 5 years younger than me, she was told today the insurance is no longer going to cover the shots that have been giving her relief in her knees. And she said the next step is knee replacement. And she was hoping to put it off a little bit longer. She's 5 years younger than me, so she's just turned 50. But they refuse to cover the injection medicine anymore. I felt so bad for her. Trying to think of what I did with my baby wipes. Okay. Hi, Crafty Kitty. Goodness, got quite a few folks in tonight. Welcome to anybody that's new. I know, Holly, and somebody had told my sister to get her doctor to write to the insurance company, but they still, she said that he'd already done it and they refused. So they're going to try another medication, but she has to wait 4 weeks to find out if the insurance company is going to cover that one. Thank you, Janet. Oh, goodness. So I'm just sitting here waiting for her ready. Okay, Holly, we'll be here. All right, Kathy said ready. Who's going to holler out the next prompt? Write a positive word or saying. Write a positive word or saying. Prompt 3 is write a positive word or saying. All right, let's see. What do I want to write it in? I guess just a pen. Let's see. I'm going to peek at my papers to see what colors. Oh, I could use that green. It kind of matchy-matchy that way. And the reason I'm writing at an angle is when you put this, you form your envelope with your paper in a diamond shape. So when you make an envelope, it has to be in this orientation, not this one. So I'm going to write my stuff at an angle. I'll write it one more time on this one, and then I'll write it on the other one. I'm trying to avoid the wet paint is why I seem to be writing funny. It didn't say it had to be legible. I wrote it 3 times on each. All right. Holly must have had something already made up and she just had to heat it. I still haven't finished the piles around my table, but there's always tomorrow. Today I just had to make Scott go to the doctor. That's all there was to it. Which he might be listening. Marinated pork loin put in the rotisserie. Oh, that sounds delicious. I used to fix that and then make mashed potatoes, but now potatoes are a big no-no. So I miss mashed potatoes. There's a blue jay outside just raising Cain. There must be a cat nearby. Cat, cat. So remember, as soon as somebody else says ready, somebody else can call out our next prompt. I think this is kind of fun because I don't know what y'all are going to say. And it's the best part is I don't even have to think about it. Y'all do all the work for me. This is going to be a fun envelope. All right, Barb said ready. What's the next prompt? I got 2 readies. Add a napkin and or book page. We can do that. Add a napkin or a book page. You just don't want to add anything too thick. Add a napkin or book page. Now I am going to have to run and get my Mod Podge or gel medium and my glue brush. I forgot to bring that, so I'll be right back. Actually, I've got that stuff that's made to put napkins down. I might use that. And I gotta grab napkin. Right. The gals, Cindy Utter and Gina Aarons and Peg Robinson, when they met up at Myrtle Beach, they had a contest if somebody could guess where they were, and I guessed that they were in South Carolina. So I won their prize package, and they had been donated stuff from Deco Art. And so they sent me this decoupage for napkins as part of that prize package. So I'm just going to use this napkin. And look, it's being nice and it's coming right apart. And I'll use half on one and half on the other. And I don't worry about if my paint is still wet. Boy, words are really giving me a hard time. I think Janet's telling everybody we're on. In fact, I'm thinking I might put just half of the napkin between the two and save the other half for another project, because I've got plenty of napkin bits to add here. Yeah, it's my phone is sitting here next to the computer, and as they come in, it goes bing, bing. Let's see. The only problem with this is putting this brush back in my product. Might end up with a blue tinge to my package here. And since I'm working a little faster tonight, don't worry if you fall behind. If you need to know a prompt, one of us will tell you. It's no biggie. This is kind of a 70s themed napkin. I like how this stuff works because it doesn't seem to rip the napkin apart quite as easy as Mod Podge. Hi, Tanya. Tanya, I have the tissue papers all in the envelope. I will take them up to the post office after I sign off here. They won't go anywhere till in the morning, but I'm going to make a run out, or I might make Scott make a run in the middle of the night to the post office. I really like this stuff. I think I will repurchase it. It's Americana decoupage for napkins, or serviettes, it says. So it might get there in time. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. I am late on the ball. It's just with remodeling and having two houses tore up really had me in a tizzy, and I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, oh, we've got to finish the room at the little house because I can't. I can't be living in a tore up location constantly. So that's why we hurried up and finished the little green room. Yeah, I went to the description box to look for the information because that's where everybody usually puts, just the general guidelines. And then you mentioned in the video they were there. So that's why I left that comment. Wasn't trying to be pushy or anything. I just wanted you to know there's nothing here. Yeah. Scott's getting tired too. He's getting tired of the remodeling himself. But we're so close. Oh, I meant for the dragonfly. It's too late now to be on the page. That tore, but I was just saying it doesn't tear that easy, and then it just tore up. Grr. Oh well, we'll just take that off. I have one piece left. I think I put too many on the other one, but that's okay. There's no saying you have to cover the whole thing in napkin. You just have to add a little napkin or book pages or something. All right. Back in the water. Oh, Lisa, one of y'all gifted this napkin to me. It looked like this, and it has dragonflies. So I'm not sure where it came from, but it was one of those that's folded. Instead of in a square, it's folded kind of in the rectangle like that. So more of a serviette fold, I guess. But that right there would make a pretty tag. Just cut that off and put that on a tag. That would be a gorgeous tag. But no, I don't know where I got it. What I'm doing, instead of keeping everything separate, I need to go through everything I have in these piles and just separate things by napkins, trim, and that stuff, so I can put it all in my boxes so I don't have these mountains of stuff around me that's really driving me bonkers. I want to be organized again. I want to have a place for everything and put it in its place. That's my grandmother's saying. All right. Did someone shout a ready yet? And the next prompt, and I missed it? Yeah, I wouldn't mind having some more of this napkin. I might look at Tuesday morning and see if it's something from there. It's a gorgeous napkin. I love those retro kind of prints like that. All right, Tanya. Okay, awesome. All right, Holly Holiday ready. Hi, Eva. We're decorating the backs of some scrapbook paper that we're going to cut up and make a couple envelopes, one with the Martha Stewart scoreboard and one for people that do not have the scoreboard. So we'll figure out the measurements so that you can make an A2 sized envelope, which will hold a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. So that's what we're doing. And then the paper, the printy paper, that'll be on the inside of your envelope. Yeah, see, T, I can't do it anymore. I've got to get this stuff in order. And I try to do a video or make a post about when I receive a package, and I thank them then. And I figure once I've done that, I can put it in my hoard of stuff in a nice, neat order so I can use it and enjoy it. when it gets all mixed up and I'm trying to keep it divided by person's name, it doesn't get utilized. You know? Yeah, I just got to get it under control. It's just crazy. And Scott and I we are not working on the house this weekend. We are not doing anything. The only thing we might do is get this lawn mowed up here, and which could take several hours because it's probably about a half an acre of lawn that has to be mowed. And we have a push mower. Now, we have the Gravely tractor up here too. And if Scott's up to it, he could help me with that on the areas where we still have brush and trees. Barb said stencil, and I missed it. Okay, Holly said ready, and Barb said stencil. So you guys, stencil is number 5. We got the yakking, and I missed it. Thank you. So stencil with any color. I'm going to use this color. And I brought all of my stencils in. I'm going to carry on the circle theme. I need to move these. These are in the way. There's a blog I wanted to tell you guys about that if you like Asian food, like hot sour soup. We love hot sour soup, and Scott's been teasing for it all week. So I got all the ingredients, and well, most of them. I could not find the chili garlic sauce. I bought this other sauce, and I don't think it's the right one. But there's a blog, and her blog is called Give Me Some Oven. And she has all these delicious Asian dishes on there. I need to look up the carb count on tofu, though. Does anybody know what carb count on tofu is? Is it bad? I hope not. I want to make that soup tomorrow and help open up Scott's sinuses some more. And I got my Flonase came in the mail today, so yay! Pollen season in the south. The truck was all yellow today when we got in it. Scott said, ugh, pollen season. This is going to be some funky mail. Somebody's going to get a couple funky envelopes. And we'll have enough left over. I could make artist trading cards out of some to swap too. So we'll see where we are and what time it is. I might make up some artist trading cards too if it's not too, horribly late. We got up early this morning simply because Scott just could not sleep. Uh-oh. Might have to do like Lisa and get me a cough drop. Kendra's in the house. Oh, you know who we haven't seen in a long time is Danny Kaye. Has anybody seen Danny Kaye in a live or anything lately? I have not seen Danny in forever. I just got to thinking about people we haven't heard from in a while. I was looking in my address book and I was like, man, I hadn't heard from her in a while, and I haven't heard from her. And I saw Spanky was having an auction for her puppy. Her little dog is not doing well. Poor little thing. Oh, I set it right in the paint. That's about how I go sometimes. Sorry for the sniffles, guys, but pollen, yes. Pollen is the word of the day. Uh-oh. And Journey's here. Hi, Journey. Well, I hope she's doing okay. I thought I had seen some photos, but I just hadn't seen her pop in alive lately. I'm so far behind on the monthly challenge on my quilt group. It's not even funny. Let's see, we're in April, and I was going to do 4 of each block. So at the end of the year, I could make like a huge quilt for Scott and I. For some reason, we can't stop fighting over the covers. So I was just going to make like a king size quilt that would cover us and then some. But now I'm so far behind, and I got January's cut out and ready to sew, but that's as far as it went. And I think everybody else has kind of quit it too because nobody's posting pictures. My quilt group's kind of suffering because of me being on the road so much, and it's so hard to organize multiple groups. I sometimes think I need my head examined for taking it on, but I so enjoy it. I really do. All right, I'm going to drop this in the water. And this, I will take a quick swipe with the baby wipe. All right. Let's see. Oh, wow. See, Scott went through the regime for allergy shots, but I think now that we're living 100 and something miles north of where he got all the shots, I'm wondering if he needs to see an ENT up here. Karen, it has 90 calories. Do you know how many carbs are in tofu? I can look on the package tomorrow when I make the soup. I'm trying to limit my carbs to 45 each meal. But I think I've probably cut them even more than that. But 45 is what the dietitian said was a healthy diet level. Ooh, the sky is brown by Lisa, and the wind has been horrible. Just keep an eye out for tornadoes. Hate to say it. Kendra said a massive hello to everybody. Okay, about 8 grams of carbs. That's good. I saw it and then it disappeared. There it is. Wow. So that's a pretty good food. Well, we don't have a problem with it being dry. I just wish it would stop raining sometimes. I'm reading down through chat. I'm catching up with you guys slowly. Yeah, Barb, we've kind of gotten quiet over there. And I think the older members wanted us to just not add anybody new. They're used to their regulars. So, and I've known most of those ladies for, oh gosh, 20 years. As long as I've been on the internet. I mean, I met them back. We were on at one point. We were on, I can't remember, AOL groups, and then we were MSN, and then we were Yahoo, and then we were on, I can't remember all of the different sites. Oh, Lisa, I wish I could. I wish I could send you, a couple of these storms at least. Yeah. That was kind of kind of a rough situation, and I felt like I was kind of caught in the middle. That's the danger when you put yourself out there to organize, you kind of end up catching it from every direction. When one person falls through, everybody jumps you, and I there's nothing I can do except constantly nag the person that's causing the trouble, which that gets old quick, you guys. But luckily, we haven't had that problem over here. I thought there was somebody coming with a dog because the neighbors' dogs were losing their minds. Rain and snow on Saturday. Come on, guys. It's spring. We're not supposed to get all this bad weather. This is too wet to really cut, but it's annoying me. Just trying to cut that little bit of napkin off the side. It's not going to matter because I'm going to trim this down anyway, but still. Yeah, it didn't. It didn't seem to help at all to nag. I don't know what the downfall was, but that's not going to be a problem anymore because that's been taken care of. So I just felt so bad for Anne, She just wanted her quilt back, and it was just. Well, I take that back. We have had that problem in this group as well, but that person is also not in the group anymore. But I will put this out there. If I organize something and I go to all the time to organize it and put it together and, manage the whole thing, if there's a problem comes up, all I want is conversation about what's going on. I understand things happen with family members. You can have a death in the family, an illness in the family. All of that I completely understand. But when we're just out here and we don't know what's going on, or somebody's hoarding everybody's items, like when we do a quilt round robin, or like in here we did an art journal round robin and it fell short. That's not fair to everybody else that's following through. So if I put together a swap of any kind, please follow through. If something comes up, follow through with conversation. Thank you. Communication. It is. Okay, did I miss a ready? I must have, because somebody's just given another prompt. Yep, Holly said ready. But I think, T, did you want us to add an owl? Communication, not drama. Exactly. And then Journey said washi tape. So T had said put a Hootie on it, and then Journey had said put a washi tape. You just had to say that? So, so I'll let you guys choose. If you want to add an owl, you can, or if you just want to pop down some washi tape, so it'll be a or. So add a Hootie or add washi tape will be number 6. And what I might do is do both of them, but add the owl after I make the envelope. That way I can just put a little owl down on the left front of the envelope. And I have washi tape right here. I just need some glue, which I put up. And I'm just going to use Well, I thought I was. I don't know if there's anything left in it. And I think there's not much left, and this thing keeps getting dry right in the tip. So I'm just going to put this paper is not used to having wet medium put on it. I can tell that right now. Uh-oh. Well, let's just put that here. And I guess I'll wipe the rest of this glue up. And I'll have to grab another washi tape. Okay. Let me grab another one. And I've been using up product like crazy. Actually, let's use this one. So they're kind of similar. Okay. I'm just going to switch these again. Oh, did it plug up again? I'm losing track of the chat again. And after this goes up, I will go back in and add the prompts to the description box. I might go ahead and add some of this. I should have left the glue there. I hadn't thought about doing this. Just add cameras up to the strip. Oh, that's way too much glue there. Ooh, okay. I've got stuff everywhere here. It's going to be some interesting envelopes. You collect fabric and craft supplies. The other collections fell by the wayside. For anybody that's not following chat, Eva said her granddaughter is in the background playing the national anthem on her trumpet. And every time she gets done, I want to yell, "Play ball!" Oh, hi, Linda T. I don't blame Scott and I stopped at the Goodwill today and easily, but we didn't find anything. He wasn't feeling too good anyway with the ear infection, so I didn't press to stay very long. And I'll take that back. I found 2 items, but my experience with things that have lost their price stickers, I just set them back down and don't even ask if they'll price them, because I've had several times where they'll price them, but they will not bring them right back to you. It's like they take them in the back and they price them, and then they come out and they sneak around and they put them someplace. And then you're supposed to go back through and hunt the stuff again, and it drives me crazy. How many ATCs can you get out of a 12 by 12? Well, if you do 2.5 this way, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 4, and then 3.5 this way, you'd get 3, right? 3 times 4, you get a dozen artist trading cards. But we're going to take 8.5-inch square off from this to make an A2 envelope, and then the rest will be left that I can do artist trading cards out of. This thing is not sticking right here. Yeah, and one time we were in a Goodwill, and I found this cute little tiny basket, and I was thinking how fun it would be to just fill it with a little candy or something for some of the nieces and nephews. And I thought she was taking it to the back to get me a price, and she just took it back and came back. And I said, well, where's the basket? She said, we can't sell it to you. And I was like, wow, you're a storefront. You're here to sell stuff. Just take a sticker off something else. Oh, Beth had Hootie owl tape. Cheater. Anyway, I don't think I have anything. I don't know if there's any little owls. I think there was owls in here. Wasn't there? I don't remember now. Yeah, this has little owls in it. That was another thing I meant to pick up, was the Xyron X refill. See, that has those little teeny owls. But I might put some on artist trading cards. Yeah, it is lousy. Okay, Kathy. Wow. I would have. Okay, Holly's saying ready, 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 go. Okay, who's giving the next prompt? That I would have told her just to keep it, Beth. I would say it's marked a price. You're supposed to honor that price. The number of times people, held firm when I was a cashier at different stores, And, we were always told, just make the adjustment. It makes me wonder if she was going to pocket the extra. That just is. Is anybody going to give me a prompt? Use red. Ooh. Okay. All right. Remember, if you don't like the prompt, there's 4 alternates: splatters, wild card, gold, or marker. But T said use red. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I had a paintbrush thing, and I was just going to make little red dots. I might make the red dots with this. Man, this paint. I had this problem last night. I'm thinking I might stick some water in it. Watch, a big old glob will come out now. Yep, like that. Oh well, I've got my wipe-off book handy here somewhere. Because I'm not going to use that much. I'll try to catch up with chat after I make some more red dots. Red dots equals measles. Those aren't turning out to be very good red dots. Thanks, Janet. Oh, that's not a very good red dot. Oh, we got speech fairies. Welcome. We're doing a prompt session that we're going to, if we can get it dry enough, we'll turn into envelopes. It looks like a fabric. I think that would be fun to design fabrics. All right, I need my wipe-off book, and it fell down on the floor. I'll just scoop this up with a sponge, spread it around here. All right, plop that in the water. There is a company that will make fabric out of your designs. That would be cool. Hi, Barbara Clark. If you're just coming in and you still want to make envelopes, you can make it out of just a piece of scrapbook paper. I just thought if we did our dirty dozen and then we turned it into an envelopes, I'm going to have enough for envelopes and artist trading cards. But I'll probably mount the pieces for the artist trading cards onto a bit of cardboard just to make them sturdy. You don't have to, but I just like to. I'm going to close the blinds and shut the front door because it's getting dark. All right. Hi, Lucia. $35 a yard. Wow. That's a lot. I bet you do, Barbara. Well, shut the front door. I did. All right, Holly said ready. Ready, go. Who's calling out the next prompt? Somebody better be fast with their typey types. Circles. More circles. I don't care if we use the same prompt again. If you guys don't want to add more circles, you can do the alternates, which are splatters, wildcard, gold, or marker. I think I will do more circles because why not? I think I'm going to use my empty paint jibber jabber thing and maybe some metallic paint in crystal green. I'm going to do it with a sponge so I just don't have much space to dip my ring in right now. This probably uses a lot less paint than I normally use. Hi, Marianne P. I will swap. Journey, do you want to swap? I can swap 2 envelopes. So I can swap. Journey, I'll send you an envelope and an artist trading card that goes with it. And then I'll have more artist trading cards. I just don't know how many yet. But I will write Journey down as one to get one of the envelopes. So if anybody else wants the other envelope, just let me know. There'll be extra, like I said, for artist trading cards. So I'll have more artist trading cards than I will envelopes because I'm only going to make 2 envelopes. I'm going to use the Martha Stewart scoreboard, and then I'm going to work it out so we can, for anybody that doesn't have a Martha Stewart scoreboard, I'm going to work out the measurements for you. And Beth says she's going to have 10 ATCs if anybody wants to swap. Is that right, Beth? That you'd be willing to swap your ATCs? The chat is moving so fast. If I miss somebody, and Barb Filion says she'll swap an artist trading card, you guys. I've got one that's going off the page over here. So I'm going to put Journey down for an envelope, and I don't have the other envelope given away as far as I know yet. But I'm going to write that down as soon as I get my fingers unsticky. Is that a word, unsticky? Oh, goodness. Well, I think that's enough circles. And I don't wash this because it's cardboard, so it just gets chunked back into my bin of stuff. Okay. So, let me get another piece of paper. Because if I don't write it down, my brain will let go and it will be gone. And let's see here. Where's my little posties? I have posties here. Yeah, I wrote right there. I need a 6x9 frame, which I don't think there is one made. So I'll have to come up with something. So Marianne P. Janet says she'll trade with you too. So is it okay if I send Marianne P. the other envelope as well? So I can send Journey an envelope. And an ATC. And Marianne, you'll have to PM me your address on Facebook. And I'll send you the other envelope as well as an ATC. And then I'll just start an ATC list with Barb Filion. And I'm sure I've missed somebody else too. All right, Beth, I'm going to put you down for one of mine as well. Marianne P. says she has ATCs for trading. So far, I think I have Barb, Beth, Marianne. Janet says she'll swap as well. Okay, T, go brush your teeth. Yeah, Marianne, is your address in any of the group files, like on Lisa's group or Tanya's group? I'm not sure you're a member in my group. In my group's at max. Hi, Christy. Christy wants to swap. I'll add Christy on here. Christy, you're in Tanya's group, right? Is your address on there? Beth is asking you guys if there are any shut-ins in this chat that might like to get some happy mail, I guess. Is that what you're asking, Beth? Oh, Kendra says she just can't seem to get back into ATCs. Joyce says yes, Beth, she is. Am I understanding that right, Joyce? Because Joyce just put me. All right, cool. And Giovanna, she says, yes, I am. Okay, you got Joyce. I had a horrible time, you guys, in that hangout yesterday because my service kept dropping. So I think Lisa or Tanya had disappeared when it was my service was disconnecting me. It was driving me crazy. It always does it when I'm on a live with multiple people. We haven't done any more prompts. I'm waiting for someone to say ready, and then if somebody is ready and ready for the next prompt, they say ready, and then the first person after that ready that calls out a prompt, that's the prompt we'll do. Okay, that's how we've been doing it. Okay, there goes Holly. She says she's ready. So somebody holler out a prompt and we'll do it. I'm losing my voice. Maybe I'm talking too much. Kendra lost her puppy. We haven't got to the envelope yet. We're working on a background, and then we're going to turn these into, these are going to be cut so that we can make I'm going to make 2 envelopes, one with a Martha Stewart scoreboard, one without anything, with just making an envelope for a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. The excess of this that will remain after I cut an 8 1/2 inch square out of it, that's what I will be making into artist trading cards. Nope, we haven't. We're working on, these are actually going to be the envelopes. I'm going to turn this, these are just 12 by 12 pieces of scrapbook paper that I'm putting the Dirty Dozen on the back of. These are what will be sent out as envelopes and artist trading cards this week. So these backgrounds are going to fulfill both of them. Marianne, I put you down for the other envelope. I've got Journey for one envelope and you for the other one, and you'll each get an artist trading card, and then I've given away 3 more artist trading cards. So I'm going to stop there until we cut this apart. Okay, Barb said metallic, so you guys add metallic. I need to go grab some metallic. And what shall I do with metallic? I'm going to use bright copper because I think it'll look really cool with the blue. So I think I want to stencil something. Put some of that out. And I'm just going to grab a random stencil. I think I'll do this one. And I think I'm going to make sure it goes, because like I said, when we make the envelopes, they'll be formed at an angle in a diamond shape. So I'm just going to plop this on here. I'm going to just move this out of the way for just a minute, and I'll bring it back up when I'm done with this one. And I generally clear coat my envelopes. So after this is made into an envelope, and I'm going to paint an owl on the front of it too. And that usually takes me some time. So I might do that. I don't know if you guys want to sit and watch me paint 2 owls or not, but we'll see how late it is. I'll look back at chat here in just a minute. All right. Set this aside now. Let it dry off to the side, and I'll get that other one back. Oops. In the groups, Tanya's group, my group, Lisa's group, we're all kind of like sister groups. So that I know Tanya, I don't think has a limit, but Lisa and I are by invitation only, simply because we would like to keep our groups, kind of small. Because when a group gets, like Scott was saying, there's research. When a group gets larger than, I think he said 200 members, it loses its ability to stay a uniform group. I don't know. He can spout off all these studies and stuff. He reads a lot more than I do. Yeah. The loss of a pet, people don't understand that don't love animals. When somebody loses their beloved pet, that's just a heartache that's so hard to heal from. And I think sometimes it's harder. Like my sister-in-law, she's never had any children, and so her animals have always been her children, and it's just so hard on her when she loses one. But again, she goes out and gets another one almost right away. And see, I can't do that. When I lose an animal, I just have to have the time to grieve that animal. I don't want a replacement. I don't want, because I'm always afraid I'll have higher expectation of the new animal, that it's going to act exactly like the animal that I just lost, that I had loved for so many years. And you've got to give yourself time to heal, and it's a loss. And I don't understand why people can't accept the fact that everybody grieves in a different way, and for a different period of time. You have to grieve in your own manner. All right, I'm going to leave it alone before I go too far. All right, I'm going to drop this stencil because it's got metallic paint into the sink. I'll be right back. Exactly. You just take all the time you need, Kendra. My youngest sister is that way too. She doesn't have any children, but they've always had some dogs, and they just lost their last dog. And it doesn't look like she's going to get another one right away. And I understand, it's hard. My niece's partner, she has a little dog they rescued, and it was meant to be her aid dog. What are they called? It helps her, supports her, comforts her. She has a disease that's breaking down her body, and her little dog helps her with that. And bless their hearts, the little things had so much trouble. He's had hip replacement surgery like 2 or 3 times, and it's been really hard on them financially with the little dog, but they love him, and he is her support. So it's hard to know when you've gone, are you making the dog suffer in your desire, or will it really help him, and will he continue to have a fulfilling life and fulfill his job duties? It's so hard. We've got an old dog that she's got a tumor on her back, and it's really nasty, and she's just reached at her age. I think she needs to be gently let down, but that is just so hard. And I told Scott I will never stay alone and be the one to take them to be euthanized by myself ever again, because I did that with our very first cat, because he had cancer and his health was declining. And so I stayed with him throughout the procedure, and then I took him home and I buried him. I know this is kind of grim talk, but I feel like sometimes people just need to talk and understand that other people know what they're going through. And but I told Scott, I said, I can't do that for Amelia. I said, I can't lift her myself, for one thing. She weighs about 60 pounds, and I'm not supposed to lift anything over, I think, 40 pounds. So one of them, Greg or Scott's going to have to go with me. But anyway, has anybody said ready? I'm blabbering around with my mouth over here. Barb said ready. I know, Kendra. I did that with our Sunny cat, and I just told Scott I will never go by myself again to end a life that I loved. It's just so hard. And then you have all these second thoughts of, did I do the right thing? And I know. All right, Joyce says, let's party. Barb has said ready. Has anybody called out a prompt? Hearts. All right. Holly said hearts. I think I have a stencil with hearts. And I'm going to peek at the other side and see what colors are on the other side. There's pink on the other side. I could put pink hearts on this. Let me see if I can find the heart stencil. I think it's in. Oh, I've got to clean up this mess. And again, this one's one I have to make sure I'm going the right way so that when I make an envelope, it'll look right. Hearts. And I'm cheating and using just the paint that's on the desk here. Boop, 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 boop. Oh my goodness, my phone's going nuts over here. Uh-oh, need some more paint. My son is attending the hippie convention type thing down at the old Columbia Speedway, and he's bought the ticket to spend the night. So I have a very unique young man for a son, and I think that's why he has so much trouble finding young ladies, because they all are into the what's fresh and now, and he's living in the hippie era. And he loves 1940s history. So far, most young ladies just think he's weird. But I think he's cool and has lots of wonderful interests. And one day, maybe he'll find somebody. Oh, here comes the tippy. Buddy, I can't hold you right now. I have wet paint, okay? You cannot come up here. You okay? What's the matter? I think I'm going to have to take him to the vet because he keeps acting like he's choking on something or trying to get something out of his throat. I don't know what's going on with him. All right. There's some hearts. I added hearts. Another sponge into the water. Yep, that's what he needs. A like-minded young lady that enjoys history and that kind of stuff. Hang on, I'll be right back. Tippy, I can't hold you right now, honey. What is it, buddy? Huh? What? I can't get you right now, honey. All right. Give him butter for hairballs. I've got that hairball remedy, but they never do it unless I smear it like all over them. That's all right. He'll find somebody. He keeps thinking he needs to move far away. Where do you put the address? Well, I will. Where's that stencil? You do not have to have a stencil, but what I do is where the addresses will go, I'll put, like, for my return address, I use this oval on this stencil. And then on this size envelope, I'd probably use this one for the 2. And I just put a circle of white, and I just do white paint. And it just knocks everything to the background. And I can write on the white paint once it's dry. I'm looking back at chat, you guys. And you could also add a label if you, like Holly said. All right, Barb said ready. Oh, Barb said ready. And then the chat moved. Uh-oh. Well, I'll give him some butter. I bet he'd like that. All right, Janet's putting the prompts in. Okay, and Gloria just called out the next one, which is number 11. In number 11 is lines. All right, so I'm just going to get a card to do lines. Actually, I've got my spreader here somewhere. Well, I've got a piece. Well, no, I don't want to use that. I had my Bondo spreader here somewhere. I've got all kinds of things I can make lines with. I just need something to do it. Oh, I'll just use this palette knife because it's got a longer blade. I need to let Howie in. Hello, Howard. Come on. I'm only short, Callie. Tippy, honey, come here. Come here, Tippy. Tippy. Come on. Here, check this out. Well, he's given the butter a try. He says it's cold, though. I think I'll use this color. Number 10 was hearts. Number 11 is lines. The lady at the post office said I should make envelopes, paint envelopes, decorate envelopes, and sell them. It's like, really? And she's like, oh, yes, you could sell these envelopes, she told me. And remember, once we cut this apart, if you want to go back and do any of the prompts again, you know, to fill in something or, you know, whatever, you can. See, this right here it's going to need some more glue. It's coming up. I think I've got enough lines on here. She says as she goes for again. Do it again. Howard won't come to my whistle, but Callie and Tippy come to a whistle just like a dog would. Don't tell them, though, or they'll quit coming. They'll think, oh, we're not dogs, we're cats. I used to could whistle really loud with my fingers in my mouth for my horse. If my horse could be like way out in a back pasture and I'd let off a whistle and he'd come thundering up. I never had to go out in the pasture and find him. I always could just whistle and he'd come to the gate. I never had to be one of those that had to walk all the way out in the pasture with the halter to get the horse back in. Beth, that's exactly how I feel. I do this for fun, and I love to share and gift my art. I don't think I could ever be one that sells my art simply because then it would become a job instead of just fun. And I just don't think I could do it. Well, Tippy's sitting over there, and he's cleaning his face from having some butter. And Howie's walking around like, hey, what did I miss? What did I miss? I missed something. Oh, Howie wants back out. Hang on. I am owned. That's all there is to it. Okay, buddy. Did you get some supper? All right. You're interrupting. Oh, hello, Callie. One in, one out. Now she's smelling Tippy's breath. I'm going to give, oh, if there's some left, she can find it. She smelled his breath, and then she reared back like she was going to pop him square in the face. I don't. Holly said, why don't I get butter? You did craft shows, but no production, only what I wanted to do. Yes, these guys own me at this time of night. They're in and out, and see, I can't get my sister-in-law to understand that either, that, you know, I don't want a job that I have to get up and do something every day. Secretariat. Yep. That was a good movie. I just broke off about a tablespoon of butter and chopped it up, and he ate what he wanted. I don't know if that was too much or not, but he ate half of it, and now his sister's in there eating the other half. So we'll see. Kendra, I think if we were in a house of our own, I would do that. But here, the problem would be I would have possums and raccoons inside the house too, because they come out of the woods at night sniffing around for cat food or whatever. I try not to put food out for Spot and Groucho unless they're out there. Groucho's been off tomming, so I don't know if he's going to come back or whatever, but Spot goes and he comes back, but I try to only put enough down that Spot will eat, but he never eats it all, and then the raccoons are out there, so. Yeah, it's a dairy product, you know. Animal movies make you sad. Lisa, that's Lynn. Country Girl Scrappin' is Lynn. I just think Scrappin' Lynn, and I can remember it. I can remember it. So how's everybody doing? We need just one more prompt if anybody else is ready. See, sometimes I will prop that front door. I won't do it at night because I don't know what could be walking around at night because there's foxes and things like that. So, but Callie, she has brought a snake up on the porch, frogs, mice, chipmunks, squirrels. Howie brings baby bunnies. I don't know. Okay. Joyce says stamp. So the final prompt is stamp, and Beth said dots. So I'm going to put stamp or dots. I feel like I've got enough dots. So I'm going to stamp with something. Now, stamping can mean stamp with a rubber stamp. It can mean stamp with bubble wrap or any other household item. I have handmade stamps I made out of an old yoga mat. You can stamp. Oops, I knocked my water over. Luckily, it's closed. This is my favorite thing to stamp with. I kind of like having my tub of stuff over here. It's one of those funky, I call them a jar openers that you can get at the dollar store. I love this thing. You can tell it's getting almost stiff from the amount of paint on it. But I just sponge some paint and then plop it down. So I'm thinking I have on my desk red, metallic green, a dark blue, the turquoise, the lime green. I have black, and I have black glitter, and I have copper and white. I don't think white will show up on here. So I'm thinking I'm going to do black dots with this here, with my thing. Oh, Mina had to go. Hi, bye, Nina. Sorry, I missed you. As soon as we get, what is with this paint? Maybe I won't use black because it's just too hard to get out. I don't have a lot of this. I should have waited to scrape that off. I think what I'll do is mix a combination of these two. And now Callie, of course, she wants out. And I'm just going to mix those two blues together. Ooh, that works kind of cool. Ooh, I did. All right, I like that. You pick it up on your knife, and then you can just spread it like frosting. Oh, now they're playing in the U-Haul box that I threw catnip in the other night. This morning, the two boys, Howie and Tippy, were making a racket, and it woke Scott up. Because, I mean, the house is like 700 square feet, so when anything's going on, the whole house knows. He came out, stumbling about, half asleep. What's going on? I'm like, the cats are just playing. They're not doing anything. He said, well, I thought they were tearing something up. I was like, no, they're just playing. Being cats. All right, we just got to get this dry now, and I can show you guys how to turn it into an envelope, and I'll see how many artist trading cards I'll have. How are we doing on time? It's only 9 o'clock. So if you did not do a Dirty Dozen page and you just got here and you want to make an envelope, like Barb Clark said, you can grab some painty paper that you might already have on hand, or you can just grab some scrapbook paper. I'm going to have to dry really quick because this is kind of wet where I just put that blue paint on. So I can read chat for a minute. Oh dear, Lisa. All right. Of course, she waits till I'm busy. All right. Hang on. You don't have to tear the mat up. I'm coming. So I don't know if I told you guys or not, but the doctor she had actually even called it in, this new shot they have for diabetes that you have to give yourself once a week to control your blood sugar. And she said it would help with appetite suppression and weight loss. But she said if you eat too much, it'll make you throw up. So I told Scott, I said, I don't want to give myself shots. I said, I'm going to get myself under control and I'm going to lose some weight. And by the next time I see her in July, I'm going to have lost some weight and I'm going to have my blood glucose down to normal. So that's why I'm keeping track of how many steps I walk every day. And I'm monitoring monitoring the carbs I eat every day. But she said that shot, you just give it to yourself once a week and it's supposed to do all this magical stuff. But it's brand new and I just don't trust brand new medicine that, I don't think they know all of the side effects yet and they're just handing it out. And I'm so sick of the medication. I want to get to where I can get off medication. I take, between vitamins and prescriptions, I have a handful of pills in the morning and I'm sick of it. Yeah, I hadn't even checked. The pharmacy told me it was ready and I had told him on the phone when they said that they sent me a text message at Walgreens and they said they didn't have all of the prescription amount, but they'd put an order in for it. And I wasn't sure what it was. And I called and I told him, I said, don't even bother filling that because I am not going to use it. I am not going to give myself a shot. And he said, well, it's a little needle. It's no big deal. And I'm like, I'm going to get myself under control and I'm not going to need that shot. And then they sent me another text message that it was ready. And I told Scott, I said, I am not picking that up. See, Scott refuses to take anything. Yeah, I'm on metformin. Let's see, I take losartan, which I keep getting a message that losartan has got a recall on it. But they keep sending it to me, and the doctor says to keep taking it. So I'm on that. I'm on metformin twice a day. I'm on Zantac twice a day, which I found out I can order my Zantac from Amazon for a lot less than what the insurance company will cover, because that's costing me $40 a month for $40 for three months worth of Zantac. I think that's how that is, Zantac. But I can get it for a lot less on Amazon. It's the same stuff. What else am I on? Levothyroxine for my thyroid. Then I also take a vision vitamin that the eye doctor told me to start taking. I take a complete multivitamin, so I make sure I get my, hey, honey. She's dug her heels in hard. Hi, babe. Are you feeling better? Has the medicine helped at all? You guys, he's been miserable the last week. Beth says, hi, honey. Oh, I think that's all of them. I'm thinking. Oh, and I take fish oil tablet for the cholesterol. I take one of those a day. And I think the eye vitamin also has some fish oil in it. And Tanya says, hello, Jeffrey. Right as rain, sound as a pound. That means he's full of poo, you guys. That he's still feeling bad. When he tells you he's right as rain, sound as a pound, that means he's still kind of Oh, man. See, I want to get my health back so bad. And so far today, I have 4.2K. I am nowhere near 10,000 steps today. You guys would laugh, but at night, sometimes if I'm close, I just walk around this little house. I walk into the bedroom, and then I go in the kitchen, and then I go in the little room, and then back in the bedroom, and I just keep walking around. Meds have reduced symptoms. Yeah, they gave him an antibiotic, a nasal spray, and I think prednisone too. Poor guy's been feeling bad. And this weekend, we are taking it easy. If anybody does any work, it'll be me mowing the lawn. Yeah, the Astapro is a nasal spray that Scott really, really, really likes. It helps with his allergies. Let's see if oh, you know what? I think this is, I can't tell if I'm touching it and blue is coming off, or I think we're pretty close. What I'll do is this one that's not quite as dry, we'll do that one second. Look at him. He says, me in the shop. He. The rat fink. Okay. I just need to know, for those that are doing, are you at a point now where you can dry your piece? And for everybody else, I know you love your shop time, honey, but that dust is probably not going to help with your allergies. Yeah, I know. Kathy, it's impossible. I can't get his mom to understand that either. She's all the time, just make him do. All right, Mary is drying. No, I've known this man for 35, 36 years, and I know he's never still. T's back in the house. Yep. T's daddy's a tool using primate as well. That's my husband on here. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to start with an 8.5-inch square. So if you have an 8.5-inch square, or you have an 8.5 by 11, just cut yourself off 8.5 inches so you have an 8.5-inch square. And I might go ahead and chop mine up for artist trading cards and everything. And that way I'll know how many I have. And we're going to start by, I've got to trim paper off the sides before I can use this. We're going to start with making them with a Martha Stewart scoreboard. simply so I can get the measurements so that we can make another envelope without the scoreboard, so that those that don't have a Martha Stewart scoreboard will be able to make their own envelope. So for those that are having to wait on that, bear with me, and I will do that as soon as I finish the one with the scoreboard. They do not take any time at all with the scoreboard. Now, I do not have the envelope punch board. I've seen people that have that, and it looks nice, but I can't justify the purchase of another envelope maker when I have the scoreboard that, does the same thing. There's no point in me buying it just because everybody else has one, I'm big into use what you have. I did buy some things today, but I'm getting to where I don't shop quite as often, which is nice for Scott, I'm sure. I've got a bit right here that I'm just going to use some Scotch Quick Dry. Oh, I'm not sure what's happened there. That's weird. I just want to glue that down real quick. There we go. All right. I might need to do some more gluing on that, but that'll hold that for right now. Got another piece over here. I didn't know I had so much sticking off the sides. All right, for the envelope, you're going to need 8.5-inch square. So 8.5 by 8.5. So get you an 8.5-inch square, whether you did this prompt session or not. If you just have scrapbook paper, you can use that too. This didn't cut very smoothly, but it'll be all right. I'll make it work. You know what? I have a new blade right here. I'm going to grab it. And on these cutting boards, when you go to change your blade, there's a little slot at the very bottom that you can lift your blade straight out, and then you can put it back in. There's a spot that's wider at the bottom where these just come out easily, for anybody that didn't know. And I'm going to put the old blade in here so nobody gets cut on it, and I'm going to pitch it in the trash. This has got a plastic thing on it. I don't remember. All right, let's see if that works better. My board is full of garbage, for one thing. My little cutting hole there's all done up with goop. All right. I still have some wet paint on this, so I'm probably going to get it all over the place. All right. So that gives me the 8.5-inch square for the envelope. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Make sure I can trim this at 3.5. I've got a little bit of an odd bit there that needs to come off. So that's 3.5 inches tall. I'm going to go ahead and cut everything while I've got the board up here out of one sheet so I can find out how many artist trading cards I'm going to get out of each one. And for anybody that doesn't know, an artist trading card's 3.5 by 2.5, just like a baseball card. Let's see, what have I got here? This one's all mauled on that one side because the cutter messed up. It's going to fall short. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this one at 2.5. And that'll give me a strip to just make cards out of, a strip across a card, and you got almost an instant card that way. So now I need to cut these into 3.5 inches tall. So I got 3, that's 4. There's 5. I like this way. All right, so I'm getting 6 out of each 12 by 12 sheet. I'll get 6 artist trading cards and 1 envelope. All right. So I have plenty to swap with people. Okay, now you have your 8.5-inch square. Now, if you have a Martha Stewart scoreboard, if you turn your scoreboard over in the back, you'll see there's a place right here with a triangle. In that triangle is this little triangle that slides out. And what you do is you take this and you just put it in your scoreboard at the 0 in the corner. And on the front of this, it tells you dimensions. So for a number 1 envelope, you would start with a 5.5 by 5.5 inch square for a 4 bar, which I don't know what any of these mean. But if you open your little thing here and you look into the top up here, I don't know if you can see that. There's a little chart there that tells you what that means. So a number 1 envelope is for a card that measures 2 1/8 by 3.5. A 4 bar card measures 3.5 by 4 7/8. So it gives you the measurements of the cards that you would make to put in the envelopes that you can make. So that's just, if you've never seen it before, that's what it looks like. Janet, you want me to add you to the ATC list of swappers? All right. ATCs. So Janet, I'll just add it to your envelope, Janet. I have an envelope going. Janet, by the time it gets to you, it might be 5 inches thick. All right. So we're starting with an 8.5-inch square for an A2 envelope. So if you go down your list on your little chart on your triangle, it says A2. It says start with an 8.5 by 8.5. All right. Then it gives you as A line and a B line scores. If you look at the little chart here, the A lines are opposite each other. So there's an A line and an A line. So let's do that A score amount. So if you put your paper in your scoreboard against the triangle, we're going to score this at 3 inches. So you would score 3 inches on this side. Then you're going to take and you're going to turn the whole point around, and you'll score at 3 inches again for your opposite A line. So now you have a score line here and a score line here. You can't really see it. Kathy would like to swap as well. Okay. All right. So now we look at our chart. We're going to turn this because now we're going to do, like, we've got the 2 lines here. Now we need the 2 lines here. We're going to turn this, and it says these lines you need to score at 3 5/8. So 1 mark past a half. If I can get the score to work through that washi tape. And then we'll turn the whole thing and score again at 3 5/8. And for those that know how to make envelopes, I'm probably going a lot slower than you'd like me to. But for those that don't know how to make the envelopes on here, I want to make sure they can understand what I'm saying. See, I'm picking up paint. It's not really dry. All right. We're done with the scoreboard, okay? All right. So now on the back, maybe you can see the score lines. Okay. I think you can see it right here. There's a little triangle right here where the two score lines cross each other, okay? You're going to cut that out. All right, so you just take your scissors, and I cut toward the part that'll remain slightly, so I remove all of that score line. And you're going to do that at every single crossroads type situation. And you'll see where the envelope's coming to life here. All right, so there's the envelope. And then what you do is you just start folding on the score lines. That tore a little bit. Wonder why that did that. Oh, that's the washi tape wanting to come loose. So fold on your score lines. Oh, this thing plugs up all the time. Kind of harsh on my poker. Whoa, now I've got 5,000 times the amount of glue I needed. All right. All right. All right. That's not going to make for a very attractive flap. So the writing's going to be upside down, but you can barely see it from everything else we left. Okay, now what I do, I don't like this little point here. So what I do is I kind of just take a pencil and I make like a little mark here and a little mark here where it meets the two sides. And then I just put it in my cutter and I line the wire in my cutter up with those two little marks. And I just cut the triangle away. And that goes in the trash. And now you can use the double-sided tape or you can just use glue. And since I just got this unstuck, the second score line is at 3 5/8. And then I'm just going to put a little glue on the small flap. I put just a little bit across here and then up here. You don't need a whole lot. And then a little bit here. Uh-oh, maybe not enough because of all the paint. Put enough glue to hold your envelope together. How about that? And see, I've got some running out because I got too much. You just don't want to put so much in there that it oozes into the envelope and glues your envelope shut. If that makes sense. All right. Okay. I'm going to wait to put the address portions on this until we make the other envelope, okay? Yeah, you can use double-sided tape. And see, and the reason I have this in with the writing upside down is because this point was just covered in paint. So to keep it looking pretty, I did it like that. All right, that looks kind of rough because I didn't change the blade, but it's a handmade envelope. All right, so how's everybody doing? I'm not going to go on to the next one until you guys are ready, all right? So that's envelope number 1. And see, you can make your envelopes out of Dirty Dozen prompt sessions. You can do it scrapbook paper. You can do painty papers. You can do any kind of paper that you create art on. You can do decorating just on an envelope like I've done before. These I've already addressed, so I don't want to show the addresses, but I can show the back. This was just a manila envelope that I did. This one's going to Janet. And if I hadn't already addressed it, I'd show you the front on how to do the addresses, but we'll do that in a minute. Oh, you're using a punch board. Yes, see, Mary has a punch board. And what I will do is I'm going to paint a little owl right here. After I put the address places on here, I'll come in and hand paint an owl on the front of each of these. And if you guys want me to do that with you, I can tonight, and I will work on artist trading cards, in my own time. But like I said, I'm going to have a bunch of artist trading card backgrounds here that I can turn into to swap. See, I only have the Martha Stewart scoreboard. The punch board looks like a lot of fun, and you score and punch that little triangle out instead of having to cut it out like I did. And what I generally do, if I'm going to make envelopes to gift to someone, I will just put double-sided tape here, and then all they have to do is peel it off and close it and mail it. I had thought about, because I've been wanting to participate in that abandoned art, I was thinking about doing an envelope and a card and put a stamp on the envelope and maybe get some inexpensive pens and put them all in a bag and put them on like bulletin boards at restaurants and stuff. You know how they have where you can share your business card, and just do an art abandonment with the card and the envelope and a pen and put your mother wants to hear from you. And that way they could write a note, put the address on, and just drop it in the mail. They would not have to do anything else. And I think it would be really cool. They make great envelope booklets. Cheryl. Okay. Artist. Okay. I'm taking names for swapping ATCs. And oh, you be quiet. You're going to be biscuits if you don't stop. I will swap. Apparently, I'm going to have a dozen ATCs, and so far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 have homes. Well, I'll have a dozen there, and then I'll have a dozen. Is that right? What do I got here? Yeah, I have a dozen total. I could have used my 5x7 scoreboard. Yeah, for anybody that has the smaller scoreboard, let me show you. And if you don't, you can still make envelopes with the tinier scoreboard. If this is what you can afford and you want one, it's got the chart on the back too that tells you the card size and the envelope size. And you can make a 4-bar, an A2, an A6, and an A7 card and envelope with this little board. So you don't have to have the big board. And don't ask me why I have two at the time. Well, I'll tell you why. I have this small one because it fits in my travel bag. And if I go traveling and I decide I want to do some arty envelopes, I have this with me to make cards. Just whenever you get them together, Gigi. I hadn't seen you in forever. Hello. I would love to swap with you, Gigi, if you want to. What did I say? I have given away 8 of them. I have 4 left I can give away. I have done trading coins with the group. I think I've swapped into a couple groups. We did artist trading coin swaps. Yeah. So you guys ready to do without any scoreboard? Because I can show you that now. Let's do that real quick. So, well, before I can do it real quick, I've got to do all the cutting on this other one. I totally forgot. Yeah, we did them in Lisa's group. That's what I thought. I knew it was one of the groups. Everything runs together these days. I used to be really good at keeping track of what was going on where, but with us working on 2 houses and being on the road so much, it's just too much for my poor old brain. My 55-year-old brain doesn't want to keep track of all that stuff. I used to make schedules and all those meetings, and I'm over it. All right, so again, I need to cut so I can get an 8.5 by 8.5 square. And Barbara said she could have done it with a smaller, but I'm gonna use the same size square so that I'm giving the same instructions. So we get 2 envelopes the same size. I guess I really did just need a new blade. I've been fighting that one forever. I just don't like how fast they go dull. All right, so there's my square for an envelope. Let me cut this really quick. And I think that hits right at the 3.5 inches tall and then the 2.5 inches wide. 3.5 by 2.5 is a ATC, artist trading card. Okay, so there's 3 more to add to my little stack over here. Now, did this one? Yeah. And I think I will, after I get the owls painted on the envelopes, I will clear coat to protect them. And when I do that, it seals them. So nothing can damage the painting. All right. So that's the dozen of those. All right. Deborah Adams would also like to swap, so that makes 9. Oh, okay, Kathy. Okay, now if you remember the measurements that we did, we're going to do those again. What you do is, remember that first score line was at 3 inches? So measure 3 inches from a corner, pick a corner, measure 3 inches from that corner, turn it, and then measuring from the same corner on the opposite side, measure to 3 inches, draw you a line between the 2 marks. Okay, that's where we're going to score. And then we'll do the same on the opposite side. So this way you can make an A2 envelope without a scoreboard. And we're not going to actually score this one. We're just going to fold on the line. Does that make sense? All right, so that, I'm not sure how my wording is going to end up, but we're going to go with it. All right, so that's those 2. That doesn't look right. Let me see. That ain't right, is it? No. All right, I've got to look at something real quick. Because I thought you could just do that, but no, you can't. Sorry for the confusion. I'll get it figured out here in just a minute. Because we're at an angle. That's right. I got to take the angle into it. I should have wrote it down. All right, so. Three inches. I'm going to make a mark there just so I know what to tell you guys. You're actually going to measure from the corner 4 1/4 inches. So if you're making it by hand, 4 1/4 from each corner. For the first 2 marks. See, I knew that, and then my brain just went off. So 4 1/4. All right, and I'm going to cheat and use this board again because we need to know what to measure from here. So 3 5/8. Put a little mark there, and I'll measure to that. To tell you this other measurement is, if you measure from the corner, looks like 5 and 1. We'll just do 5 1/8 and 5 1/8. And then, yeah, draw your line. And I'm using pencil so I can erase this. This way, if you don't have a scoreboard, does that look right? Yep. Right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut the triangles out before, well, no, I can do that. And the reason I'm folding them this way first is because I can see that way better. I can see my line. All right, now you can see where they cross. That's what we got to cut out. And once you cut this little triangle out, you wouldn't see the pencil lines anyway. You can see where the marker bled through a little bit. Now, if you wanted to, you can go back in. These are your envelopes. You can go back in and doodle. All right. The measurements, if you do not have a scoreboard, are 4 1/4 by 5 1/8. So the first score line, A line, the A line marks that you would mark on the 2 sides would be 4 1/4 inches, and then 5 1/8 inches we'll call the B line. B lines, because you got to do that on the opposite corners. So 4 1/4, 4 1/4, then you do 5 1/8, 5 1/8 for that side. Does that make sense? So now I'm going to fold this back the other way so that I can glue my envelope together. And I think I'm going to make this one the bottom this time. And again, what I do this time is I'm going to just make a little mark here and one here. And I'm going to actually draw a line between them and then cut on the line. I just like this to be flat at the back of my envelope. Okay. Eight and a half inch square. Yeah, some people do that. The thing to always remember is if you have a card and you have any size card you want to do, is you can lay your card, but make sure you're not trying to lay it square on the square. You have to lay your square card on a diamond. Does that make sense? So that you'll use less paper. Gigi would like to swap. Okay. Gigi. Oh, on your second one, the back of the envelope. You know, Mary sometimes will actually address the front of the envelope when she does that, or the back of it. Whatever side's the prettiest, she leaves and she puts the addresses on the opposite side. All right. For anybody that's wanting to do more mixed media tonight, Stacy's just come on to do her weekly mixed media mashup, and she gives away working on canvas giveaways. So she does some giveaways in hers as well if you want to do more. Now you can erase your pencil line if you want to. I might write those measurements down in my little travel notebook so that, you know, if I'm traveling somewhere and I don't have a scoreboard with me. 8.5 by 8.5 inch square. Is what you start for A2. And then if you're doing it by hand, you measure 4 1/4 from the corners on two sides and 5 1/8 on the opposite sides, opposite corners. All right, so you get 2 envelopes. My hearts are upside down. Well, there's no saying I have to make it work right. I can do like this, and so everything's right side up. I can do that on this one too. The envelopes will just close upside down. That might confuse them at the post office. All right, you guys wanted to know what I do for my addresses. And I just was showing you. Okay. What I do is whatever envelope I've made, I have this. This is a making memories, creative. What was the very first scrapbooking company that they did parties? That's where I got this. It's not making memories. Hi, DP. Creative memories. Okay. That's where I got this. This is actually to put on a photo to decide what to cut out. And they used to sell us a special pencil that you could draw on your pictures and that kind of stuff. So I just try them until I get one I like the size. Like I like this one for here. And then I just take white paint or gesso. You can use gesso. And I just white out an area. And I just use a stencil so it looks neat. And the big thing with the post office is they just want the machines to be able to read the address. So if you white out an area and you use a dark blue or a black pen, then the silly machines can, understand what's there. So I'll use that one for the addresses. The two stuff. And they do charge me an extra 20 or 21 cents for my painty envelopes sometimes. Sometimes they'll let it go through with just one stamp. I guess it all depends on how loaded I get it with stuff. But I just keep adding paint until I can barely see my background. All right. And then I'm going to choose a smaller oval, of course, for the return address. And I might use this one here. And that's all I do. Now, I think Holly mentioned you can use address labels. The only thing is if you do like me and you clear coat, the address labels might not stick entirely and you might have to put packaging tape over top. Once this dries, I have also been known to put like a hand stitch line with a pen or a marker. Who's having pork chops? Somebody's having pork chops. Around the two address spots. And sometimes I'll even put the 2 on there. I don't worry about from. I just put 2 so they know exactly where it's going. Because, yeah. So there's 2 envelopes. And see, I've got enough room. I can put the little owl on there. I should have gone over with this a little bit. Well, I'm just going to move it over because the little owl will cover up the mistake. I'm just going to move it over a little and do another oval. And when I paint the little owl on there, I'll make sure to cover that there. Okay, throw that in there. Oh, I can't have either of those, Janet. I'm going to throw this in the sink and I'll be right back. Looks like Groucho's showed back up. All right. So did everybody have fun making envelopes? Who all made an envelope? I know Mary was using her envelope punch board. All right. So I've given away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've been wanting a steak really bad, and there is actually I think it's a Western sizzling or a Western steer still open in Clemson, South Carolina. You have 2,468 of them. Oh, 8. I was like, doggone, Mary's fast, like lightning. Oh my goodness. Okay, so do you guys want to watch me paint an owl, or would you rather I do that off camera? I'll do one on camera if you guys want to watch me do it. Thunder and lightning. Ooh, I had that the other day. Sharon says, paint away. All right. I don't know if you guys know this tip or not, but my friend Gypsy's daddy was a painter. And he said, if you get into a house or in any predicament where you're trying to cover something like a really dark red or a lot of colors and stuff, start with silver or gray. So I'm going to start with some gray, and I'm just going to paint out the shape of an owl on the front here. And all I've got is tiny paintbrushes. Hang on. I'll be right back. I'm just going to dump what's here out and get fresh water. Let's see. I'm grabbing a variety of paintbrushes. I think that'll get me going. Ow! So if we want these owls to stick out, I need to get some different colors. What other colors were on the inside? Ooh. I'm just grabbing a bunch of paint. Hang on. Oh, and we need a black. That was something else I needed to pick up at the store today. Another black, because the black I have really stinks in that it won't come out. Put it that way. Okay, so I might go ahead and paint an owl shape on both of them, but only do one till completion. And that's a little bit closer. I've got washi tape running amok down here. I'm just going to cut it away. Out of my way. I got out way too much gray paint. I think this owl's going to look like he has a bad case of acne too, because there's some wicked circles of blue paint there. All right, so I've just got kind of an owl shape. That's just like a base. This envelope making is hard. Christy, what's the matter? Where are you stuck? Do you need me to go back over something, Christy? I don't mind. That owl has more of a cat's ear there. He's getting fatter by the minute. See, it's like I've just erased everything that was here. Okay, so now I've got, actually this one's turned out better than this one. Maybe I'll work on this one just a little bit more and do the shape fix. Cornbread, another thing we miss. Scott loves black-eyed peas and cornbread and collard greens. We can have the collard greens. We just can't have the cornbread and the, well, we can have the black-eyed peas, but just not a lot of them. I think this owl is just going to look irritated because his one so-called horn is acting weird. Hi, Liz. How are you? Blue cornbread. How cool is that? Oh, I missed something. I want to make sure Christy's understanding everything. I know she said she was having trouble. Make the cards to fit. That's your trick. Well, we did one envelope we did with the Martha Stewart scoreboard, and one we did with just using measurements that we snitched from the Martha Stewart scoreboard, so we knew what, how far to measure from each corner. Oh, it's all wonky. Practice. I guess that's my first couple were really wonky too. Oh, you found it at Tuesday morning, the punch board. That's cool. Yeah, we're all cheap, I think, DP. I'm just letting the gray dry while I see what you guys are talking about. Is so a scoreboard, or are you doing it without? Because there's two different measurements. if you are using the scoreboard, the scores are at 3 and at 3 5/8. Okay? That might be what's the problem. Without the scoreboard, you have to measure from the corner, and because it's done at an angle on the Martha Stewart scoreboard, it's a different measurement. So you must have come in while we were doing the second portion. If you're using your scoreboard, the measurements are 3 and 3 5/8. If you're using the triangle. Let me show you. Oops, the triangle fell out. All right. So for an A2, when you put it in here, they tell you 3 and 3 5/8. So score 3A, you come in here and you score, but your block is laying this way. So the best way to show you is this. If I take a ruler and I'm just measuring from the corner of an 8.5 inch square and I come up to 3 inches, do you see what happens? Because we're at an angle, that's at 4 1/4. So you can't use the same measurements as you can in the scoreboard when you're doing it without a scoreboard. You have to, because the paper's in here at an angle, you have to measure differently if you're going without a scoreboard. So scoreboard is 3 and 3 5/8. If you're just using a ruler and measuring from the corner, it's 4 1/4 and 5 1/8. That's might be the problem, is if you're using a scoreboard and you're using those other measurements, you're going to end up with a weird envelope. So that might be what's happened. So I need to scoop this gray up. Might be time to switch to another page. This one's getting kind of full. And now, instead of having just a pile beside me, I have a collapsed mess. Oh, your scoreboard doesn't have the triangle. Yeah, you kind of need that to make the envelopes. Because when you're scoring at a diamond shape. So, like here, you're scoring this way, not putting it in this way. You have to have this part here. I can't think of a way to do it without this piece on here. Unless you just do it without the scoreboard at all and just make, well, you could make a little tick mark at the 4 1/4 from each measurement, and then line those two marks up on your scoreboard and score it, if that makes sense. Okay, Gloria, have a good night. It is getting late. Let's see if I can. All right, so we wanted a Hootie owl. We need a beak and great big eyes and some feathers. And I was thinking, I'm just going to put a little of each of these out on my thing. And thank you for coming, Gloria. This is that crazy red again. Just throw it aside, Becky, so you can deal with it. the reds just don't want to come out of their tubes, I guess. All right. This poor owl. Keep in mind, I work in layers, so he's not going to look this crazy. I just want to get some color on him. And a lot of this red will probably get lost. I just want to get a base color. The girls want to know the measurements of the triangle. Okay. All right. So if you're looking at the square portion of it, all right, from the corner to the tip is 6 inches along the top, the part that goes at the top of your scoreboard. All right. So if you're measuring from the top corner to the tip here, it is 6 inches. So a 6-inch square, cut at an angle. So the angle side should measure 8.5 inches. Does that help? But basically you do 6 inches out, 6 inches out, and then draw a line in between. But then double check and make sure it measures 8.5. Let me get some more red layered on here just so there's a dark color at the back. I know he looks crazy right now, but bear with me. All right, I'm going to grab some brown real quick. Devil Hootie. It's just the background. It's not the real owl yet. You're welcome. Woo! Well, it did sting me, so I guess it's all right. It was some kind of little wasp. I think I squeezed him hard enough to kill him, but I guess I'll find out here shortly. No, he's still flying around. I think the raccoons are fighting over cat food on the back porch. Sorry, guys, not looking at chat. It's like you get your nose to the grindstone and good night, Lisa. This will be one of the videos I get a thumbs down on. Guaranteed. Yeah, I know it's none of y'all, but I have somebody that pops through every once in a while and plops a big old fat thumbs down in the middle of it all. That blob of blue paint under there is giving me a hard time. I need to dry this a little. Ooh. You don't like that, do you? Cook him with a heat gun. I actually think it's a termite. That's not good. Get those people back out here to fuss at them because they supposedly treated the place. Okay. The reason I'm using this little paintbrush is it'll give me a little bit more depth. It just takes forever. He's getting his hair did. Yeah. Oh, that's not good. Paintbrush fell apart and now he's got wiggly woggly all over his head. Oh well, we're going to make it work. That's more the look I wanted. Well, I have a Sizzix Big Shot, so that's the one I like. And I have the electronic version, but I will say I've been having some problems that I need to see if Scott can figure out what's going on, where sometimes my power doesn't kick on. It's like some switch is going haywire in there. So I would hold off buying one until I figure out what's going on. And I want to research and see if others have had that same problem, before I recommend. At first I really loved it, but lately, last couple times I've tried to use it on here, I've had trouble getting it started. It's kind of weird. He's kind of a scary owl right now. It's freaking me out. Yeah, I want to check and see if there's any recalls or any of that kind of stuff. Oh, that's not the one I was using. Swear, it sounds like they got a race tonight over at the raceway. Or somebody signed in to practice tonight. It's usually Saturday night we hear all that noise from over at the raceway. Maybe somebody's just got their TV really loud. Well, he's not the perfect Hootie owl, but I guess he'll do in a pinch. What big eyes you have. He's a Hootie owl. Hoo, hoo, hoo. He's developed a 5 o'clock shadow. got way too much paint out. This is not a very good owl. I will put it that way. Let's dry. Whoa, this one's new. Well, I don't know. He's a Hootie owl. So that's the owl. He actually looks better on the camera than he does in person. And I got ATCs to go to Journey, Marianne, Barb Filion, Beth Schuler, Christy Wainscoat, Janet, Kathy, Cheryl, Deborah, and Gigi. So I got some painting to do tomorrow. Oh, been through a snowstorm. My owl? Yeah. I might do something else on him in the morning when I'm not quite as sleepy. A Muppet owl. There you go. I'll do this other one tomorrow. I'm too tired to do him tonight. I got all this paint out, but it is what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed making envelopes. Hope I wasn't totally confusing. And I'll make some more painted envelopes, but they'll probably be smaller ones. Maybe just the ones that are already made. I'll just paint them up. So these are the artist trading card backgrounds I have so far here. I think I'd like to wrap it up. You got 11 done. Wow. I don't think I'll be hand painting an owl on each one of these, but I'll do something to them, you know, to send them out. And so, what was my count? I have just 2 left that I can swap. Holly says she'll take a card. Okay. Holly. So that leaves just 1 left. Okay, guys. I hope everybody had fun. I'll catch up with you guys later. Mary will usually does her early mornings tomorrow. So if you're up at like 4:30 a.m. Central Time, Mary will be up. She does Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. And if she wakes up a little bit later, y'all bear with her. She'll show up eventually. 1 envelope and 2 ATCs for me, for Barb. Okay. ATCs. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Good night, guys.